So, hello everyone and welcome to the Trackmania Formula League. We had a bit of an issue here with me being stupid, but hey, you know, those things can happen. And we are back. I hope you guys are doing great. And yeah, hello Atypick. Nice seeing you, my man, again on this beautiful Sunday. We have a new race number 8 already. Canyon Night it is. And first of all, I hope that you're doing great.
Yeah, I was telling you, not the best Sunday I would have had, but yeah, always looking forward for the Trackmania Formula League. Such a cool event, like really make my Sundays, to be honest, nowadays. But yeah, race 8 already, and quite a cool looking map. Like really, one of the, I would not say unique, but the first time we see like this kind of track really down to earth and really kind of a proper Formula 1 track looking.
Yeah, exactly. It looks like a Formula 1 map. Also the pit stop, we have seen a lot of penalties there. The pit lane looks super small compared.
Yeah.
And also the map in general.
To enter.
Yeah, it's very strange to enter, but in general, the map looks cool. I really like this one as well. Very unique taste to it as well. You can also see the merch there that I also have, I'm wearing today. But of course, we don't have the cam frame. We had some issues with Photoshop, so we couldn't create that. But it's all good. You know, we're gonna fix that for next week. But of course, I was a bit late, so that is of course my fault because I just had to prepare so many things because there will be 2 casts after that and I could not talk to my colleague I'm casting to afterwards. But hey, let's focus on this racing because Trackmania Formula League is always the highlight for me as well on this Sunday, in this full stacked Sunday. And yeah, Moppel is currently leading here with a 1 minute point 38 ahead of Wosal. And then we have Wingober, Berserker, Patrose, Josh and Joey.
Yeah, there is a bet currently on Discord on whether or not Mopel is going to is going to crash, and which lap Mopel is going to crash. So if you're down to taking on the bets, please write in chat which lap is Mopel is going to crash, and we will see. Really hope like Mopel has a good race. He has been struck with issues like this in Season 2. I think Season 1 was pretty okay, but Season 2, my god, he was so unlucky, and it looks like the story repeats itself in Season 3 for Mopel, unfortunately. But, like, I would say unfortunately for Mopel, but for Patrose and Joey, they're his teammates. Everything seems to go fine, at least for the team championships, and as well for Patrose, the last winner on race number 7.
Yeah, very good performance there by Patrose on this, or Patrose, however you want to call him. I'm gonna call him Patrose because he is a German and that is very close to that word Matrose. Yeah, so I'm just gonna call him like that. And he also sets the fastest lap time, but yeah, he looks very strong to also be a contender for Wosal. He had that perfect weekend. He has won both qualifying and also the race and had the fastest lap.
Yeah, no, Wosal was...
no, it was Wosal, yeah.
Wosal was supposed to have the perfect Sunday, but
yeah, true.
Messed up right at the end, and yeah, couldn't really keep his first place out of Patro's reach, and Patrose ended up winning the entire race. Patrose is on a 2-race win streak after I would say bad fifth race, and as well a DNF on race number 3. Otherwise, he always ended up first or second in every race. So Patrose really strong, but that DNF really hurting him quite badly in the championship. Because yeah, right now he's probably our best score setter, but he's currently 134 points behind Wosal in the driver championships.
Yeah, 130. That is a lot of points actually, and Wosal looks strong. Yeah, of course. I'm now remembering it when you were talking about that. It was Wosal getting overtaken there by Patrose there at the ending, where we had a very thrilling fight for that. Also, Nano was talking to me about that. But right now, it seems that both of those players are ready again, first and second in the free practice. Of course, the free practice is not providing you with points after the free practice, where the players are getting used to the map or just checking out the map, getting the lines across. We have the qualifying that is coming into play, where the top 13 is collecting the first amount of points and also will set up the positions of the start line. And then there is the live race with 47 laps today. So not sure what will happen, but I thought, of course, the pit entry. Yeah, if we take a look onto that, into the free camera, I'm gonna go into that here. We have no cams today actually. But let me just show you.
It really depends on the mapper and whether or not he did the media tracker. It's map made by Mogus.
Okay. Mogus.
I don't know if Mogus.
Yeah, no, I'm just gonna tell Mogus because of Among Us. Yeah.
Ah, okay. I didn't really get the joke. But yeah, I don't think. I think it's the first time we see a map from him. I might be mistaken, but I think it's the first. And yeah, 47 laps you said is quite short amount of lap, but means that the average lap time is going to be above the minute. For now, looks like the best lap. Yeah, it's just below the minute. 58. Probably is going to go down on the 57. I don't know. Not really likely, but maybe closing on the 56. But it's quite a long lap time to be honest.
Yeah, it's quite long, and also the map is like just a connected road combination. It looks so simple, but it has a lot to offer. We have seen this one like hill that is sticking out there where Moppel is driving right now. Then there are a lot of hairpin turns. So very technical map, I would say. And also you have to really maintain your speed over that course of the track. So really important for you to get that one through. And I think that we're gonna see crashes today, as we're gonna see like those will be the deciders, but also a close race, I think. Yeah, a race that is not decided by rain or anything. I'm not sure what the probability of rain is today.
15%, so like not the lowest that we had.
Yeah.
I think the lowest that we had was a 0 or 3%. But as well, like it's not particularly high, but it's not that low. So we could have like 1 or 2 laps. I would love to have a qualifying in the wet, but also like the scenery like is desert teams, so like it would be really strange for some rain right in the desert.
Yeah, it would be really contradicting. Of course, the desert gets really, really cold once there is night time, but still, it would be weird. It would be indeed weird, but I'm looking forward to that race. Probably a map that also suits a player like Dexter very well, who is right now on that 4th place. But let's take a look who is playing today. We have 37 players playing. Very cool to see that. Let's go through them. JSack, then Speedself, Amphi, Koda, Sineon, Wall, Deskar, then DJ Ruffy, Amaterasu still being Poketerasu, Totti, then Neko Razorlight, Dorian Raid, Eddie, Darkbringer, Shorty, Nano. Then we have Funky Jug, Golden Nugget, Lars, Wingober, Simply Nick, Claudio, Veki Sauce, Siuk, Sha Dennis, then Yosh playing as well as Marius, who gets overtaken by Claudio there, Sefri Chris, Danik B, Moppel, Berlul, Joey, Dexter, Berserker, Patrose, and Wosal. Those players are playing. Of course, we have Scrappy missing because he's focusing on Trackmania Grand League, as well as Moda, who I have not seen, but of course Simply Nick is playing. And also Picking Enter is not on the server.
Is Massa is there as well?
No, Moda.
One of the big okay.
Moda is not there.
Yeah. So, just like to talk a bit more about the driver championships, we have a clear top 3, to be honest. Wallside, Petros, Dexter on top 3, and then the 4th driver, which is Danik B, is 235 points behind Dexter, which is quite insane. But yeah, Wallside well in front, 134 points in front of Petros, as we said. Then we have a tie battle between Petros and Dexter. Dexter always quite consistent into scoring points and podium as well, but always like the low places of the podium, top 3. A top 2 on race number 3 was the highest finish.
Yeah, no first
Dexter.
place.
Yeah, no first place yet. He's the highest man place without a win yet for Dexter. But like we didn't really have like a big variety of winners. We had Petros, Wosile, and was it Massa on race number 3, and that's it. Only 3 different winners. Whereas on I feel like in season 2 we had a lot more winners. We had Petros, Wosile, Dexter. We may have had
Scrappy as well.
Scrappy with 2 or 3 wins in the season.
Yeah.
I don't know if Shorty managed to win a race, but he was really close to it. I think there was a Dexter Shorty 1-2 in race number 4-3.
Yeah.
4-5. I don't. Like it was a strange map, but quite a cool one. Like was it Cornfield?
Yeah, I remember that actually. Yeah, they played very well there, indeed. They played very, very well there.
But yeah, Dexter has yet to win a race. Would be great for him to win a race. Would potentially overtake Petros in the driver championships for second place. But then, yeah, Danny B quite far from Dexter, and it is Joey on P5. And then Scrappy Massa, Bisaker on P8. Wingo Bear, quite a good, nice addition to the top 10, and followed by Claudio to complete the top 10.
Yeah, so Claudio in the 10th position, very cool to see that. But also Danik B, like a player that has not really played, or also has gotten not like, I think 1 top 3 or 2 top 3 placements thus far, and he's still 4th position. He didn't actually?
Never.
Okay.
No, he didn't.
Okay.
Nah, really, it's hard to see the result he had, but yeah, the podium places have been always Wosile, Petros, Dexter. Then we had some Massa, probably Scrappy. No, Scrappy didn't. No, never mind. Scrappy on race 5 was on the second step of the podium.
Yeah.
And we had Myers on 3rd. And that's it. I think it's pretty much all the guys that have been on the podium so far. It's a really small amount of different driver.
Yeah, that is interesting though, because we started very diverse in the first 3 races. We had 3 different winners, and now it's only Wosile and Patrosa just marching through. Maybe Patrosa can make it 2 victories in a row. That would be incredible, and I hope that we're gonna see a different race. But I think, like, one thing that I was thinking about when you were talking about the ranking and stuff, which is of course very important, but it's almost very decided already, and I think after this race we're gonna know more, is that this race probably will be decided with a pit stop, because the entry looks super hard. Like, just not from the first glance, but just consider that you are high speeding and the entry is very short. The entry is very short that you have to nail, as you can definitely get yourself a penalty there, a 10-second penalty. So you're not allowed to refuel your car in those 10 seconds, as well as the tires will not change. So you just have to stand and be dependent on the time to just go away. But yeah, I think that the race will be very close. Not sure what the techniques will be, because we have a lot of drift turns, of course, also a lot of full speed turns that Wosile is doing. But then maybe like 1 or 2 turns where players not to decide to drift. Not sure what Shorty will do again, if he will coast again. This looks like a track where he's doing that. And yeah, I think it will be a good race. Yet again, 5 minutes left of free practice. But I think it's time for our predictions, right? Let's go with one.
Oh my god. A Wosile, Petros, Dexter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Boring,
That would
but
be my podium.
okay.
Yeah, it is really boring. Like it's basically the top 3 of the driver championship. But like if you want to spicing up, I would say Dexter would. Like,
Okay.
It would be less boring now.
Yeah. I would also say that Dexter has a good shot of winning, but this map is just suited towards a player like Wosile, who is very strong on those things.
Yeah.
Like, Wosile is...
looks unbalanced, like how strong Wosile can be. So like, easy? 1 second ahead of Patros.
Yeah,
Oh my
incredible.
gosh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Rosal is incredibly fast, and I think also that he is the pick for me to win today. I don't know. I don't know who should win for me. I think that, yeah, like logically I would say Rosal as well, but I'm just gonna go with someone else. Yeah. Who can I say? It would be a
It is
bold
really-
statement if I say that maybe Darkbringer wins, but also a player that can perform well. But I think he's lacking the consistency compared towards Bosan and Patroso, who are just very strong.
Marius.
Maybe Marius, yeah.
Marius
Okay.
jump on top 3 in the free practice.
Yeah.
Just right now.
I hope that Marius is playing good, but also he has to push a bit more. I'm gonna actually go with Danik B today. I'm gonna go with Danik B, even though he's P19. But I think Danik B will do good today, and also Marius top 5, I think. And then we have Wosal, Patroso, and Dexter, also the top 5. So those players, Marius, Dexter, Patroso, Wosal, and Danik B in the top 5. And I think Danik B will take it today. I don't know why, but I have a feeling about him taking it today.
And so, like, to finish the prediction on which lap Mopil is going to crash.
So I like it when he will DC, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna go with 32.
32.
Lap 32, yeah. I don't know, but like 32 sounds like a good number.
Yeah.
For Mopil to crash.
I go for a bit
But it would
earlier.
be really unfortunate.
I go with 27.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mopil, to bet on your crash. We will see. I really hope I'm wrong. I really hope we are both
Yeah,
wrong. And
I hope
he's
so as
going
well.
to finish the race.
Yeah, Moppel
But
was
it's-
really unlucky.
It's props to him. He keep on showing up every Sunday, knowing that he has those issues.
Yeah.
But he keeps on fighting and participating in the races.
Indeed. That is very great sportsmanship, and you love to see that.
Some dedication there.
Yep. That's very nice. Very cool here from Moppel, and I mean he has had really good races, and now he's just on that 4th position right now in the qualifying or in the free practice as well before the qualifying. So he shows that he can also be a contender for the top 5. So hopefully he will not DC, as we have currently. I'm following Marius here, who's again on a quite good lap, gets a lot of speed, and actually went for the PB, crashing there. Maybe also wallbangs will be the case here. I don't know. But yeah, Marius looks good. Also practiced the entry into the pit lane. And we have 1 minute 30 left. Oh, and I just swapped to Wosal. And he overtakes Patrosa here. 0.1 ahead. And maybe they can have a good fight. But look at the gap already. 1 second between 2nd and 3rd. It is Wosal and Patrosa being on another level yet again, Atypick.
Yeah, that's unfortunate for like the competitiveness of Division 1.
Wow.
we definitely miss Massa and Scrappy, which I feel like could have done well on this track. Maybe not
Yep.
Massa, but Scrappy would have done very, very well there.
Yeah. And it's a back and forth between Patrosa and Wosal. But I think it's also a Massa map. But I think Massa here in those turns would maybe have risked it too much, as Scrappy drives a bit safer all the time. So yeah, Patrosa overtaking Wosal here, and Wosal typing in the chat, what the... Wait, I can now use it, what the... Yeah, that's a new feature of my Go XLR. So you also have heard that beep sound, right?
No, I didn't.
You didn't hear it?
No.
Okay, Sag, have you guys heard it? Like here? This?
Oh, now I heard it.
Okay, then I didn't press the button. So what the... Okay, there we go. We heard it. Stop swearing like that? Yeah, how can I say the F word? How can I do that? Ah, damn. I'm gonna tell my mom. BT. Ferrari. Yeah, Giovanni Giorgio. But yeah, we have the free practice coming to an end. And now we're gonna start with the qualifying. Yeah? Maybe you want to explain it.
Yeah.
Or I can also, if you want.
Nah, I can do it.
Okay.
Really simple. You have 5 minutes to do your best lap. You have 2 laps to do. So the first one is basically the one you still need to a good lap in case you screw up in the second one. But yeah, it's not. It's going to be a reference, but it's a launching lap. in order to complete the second lap, which needs to be the best of your two. And then we just, as you said previously, we're just going to rank every driver on their best lap to form the grid for the start.
Yeah, and also the points, yeah? You know, the top 13 is getting the points.
Indeed.
The first set of points.
I forget this part.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. So you can get the first points there. And yeah, let's see. So the flying lap, of course, is faster than a standing lap. So that's why we have 2 laps. The fastest lap from those 2 laps will count. Yeah, so good luck to the players. We have 30 seconds until every player is joining in. And then afterwards, we have the live race that is starting with 47 laps, where the players have to manage their fuel and also their tire consumption. That will also be great. And let's see who will actually take home the first set of points here in the qualifying. Good luck to the players. 13 seconds left. And then we have 5 minutes where the players have time to set their fastest lap on 2 rounds or after 2 rounds. Yeah. Also, your first lap can be the fastest if you just make a huge mistake.
Yeah. This is why, like, the strategy of Patros can be really detrimental for him. Like, Patros like to wait at the very beginning. And so his first lap is going to be, like, trash. Really, really trash. And he only relies on a single lap. But yeah, here he's standing in the pits waiting, and there we go for Patros starting his flying lap.
Yeah, I'm currently following his teammate Moppel, who is followed up, or who is behind Wolsal at the moment. So good fight between them. But of course, I think maybe Marius. I think Marius is a good pick here to follow, but he is also doing a great job here, overtaking Shorty here by the looks of it. So the names sometimes go so fast that it's really hard to look into the name.
Shorty.
Yeah, but it was Shorty indeed. So he is ahead actually of Marius now, who didn't get the best entry over this one. Also tries to not get airtime, so releases a lot. The Safe Meister, known to release where you don't have to, but of course he is just pushing it to the limit. So who can we spectate?
I think Shorty is a good bet. He's right behind Danik B and Marius. Overtake Marius right into the turn. Shorty goes for the mistake. Unfortunately, he touched the wall and he's going to fall down the order right behind Eddie and Dexter as well on P12.
Yeah, I was just swapping the camera there towards Shorty. So Shorty with a mistake, and he will probably not play a role. Gets it really well here, so, and overtakes Marius. But look at the speed from Dexter. All the 3 OK boys are in the battle here for those first set of points. We also have Winko Bear making a small mistake. Volsa, Moppel, then we have Danik B, Berserker. But of course, those are only the standings when the players have crossed the line. We see 1, 2 mistakes there. 3 mistakes from Dexter, Shorty, and also 1 other player has made a mistake. So let's take a look who will get that fastest lap right now. It's really looking good for actually Volsa to take it. And also Moppel with really good speed. Shorty with a good amount of speed. Siuk is actually getting that fastest lap here. But of course, he has started a bit later. So he just got the first, yeah, like normal lap, I think, and it is actually Wolsal getting it here. Then we have Danik B also finishing here, Marius finishing as well, Amaterasu not actually getting himself P18, but yeah, well, that's it. Wolsal in first, then Moppel, Dexter behind, but actually some gaps here between the players, and we still have Sevicris playing as well as Patrose. Yeah, I just wanted to swap to him. Thank you, Patrose. I didn't find you.
Very good last sector, I think, from Patros, who goes first. Yeah, like the second lap of Fossil wasn't great. Let's put it that way. It really wasn't really great. Unfortunately, like, he was purple on the first sector, then didn't really improve on his best personal time, and yeah. Maybe a bit too safe, but sometimes it is enough to be safe. Is starting on the front row is only 4 points down to Patros, but yeah, Mobile strong performance, 14 points on the top 3, followed by Dexter, Danik B, Style Bad and Echo, Funky Jug, Clojo, Deska, Shorty, Wall, Simply Nick on P12, Marius, the last man to score the points, and Shadony, unfortunately, on P14 will be the first losers.
Yeah, so 0.1 behind Marius. I'm not sure what happened there to Chris, because he was On a good run by the looks of it, but then he just fully bonked into the wall. I'm not sure what happened there towards him, because he actually could have gotten himself a good placement as well. He just went straight into the wall before the finish line. I don't know what happened towards him. But yeah, Patroza taking home the qualifying here, and now we have the live race that will be live coming up. Good to see that. And then, yeah, a good performance again, but of course, the old bets or the old names are leading the race. So very nice. Or like, not very nice, anticlimactic, but hey, whatever. I just hope that we see a tight race here. 3 minutes of warm-up where players loading onto the map. So good luck, and let's see who takes home the victory. And yeah, we have done our bets. Maybe you guys can also give your prediction in the chat if you want to. And let's just wait until we are starting.
I think it's a good prediction that you made about like the race is going to be played with in the pit. Like the pit stop it will be incredibly short. The amount of time you're going to spend, like limited to 130 kilometers per hour, is like, I think 2 to 3 seconds. It's not that bad. We've seen from the pit limiter to the pit box, like on some races it was 15 to 20 seconds.
Yeah.
Now I think it's down to like the highest might be 5. No, not even. I think it's 2 seconds. So the gaps you need to build in order to stay ahead of your teammate of your opponent on the track will be relatively short. We were talking about like 40 seconds sometimes does not protect your position on the track compared to the opponents you are racing against. So here I wouldn't be surprised it is down to the 30 seconds, maybe 20, the high 25 seconds.
Well, I think you mentioned a good point there, but I think that we see someone going the other way around. I think that the pit lane is actually, well, yeah, it will be the defector, but again, we have a very, very, very fast section. I'm currently following Suku, has made a mistake, but you go up to 400 kilometers per hour on that section. You slow down, you have to accelerate, and then of course you still have that very, very like tight entry into the pit. But yeah, I think you're still gonna lose time, but I guess that the strategy that Patroza or Wosa will go for is just the full send. I'm just gonna make something happen and just full send out my tires and just do as many pit stops as possible and let not my tires go underneath 30%. I think this will be the case for them.
Yeah, Dexter is known, like, he's a known guy to he's not letting his tires drop below the 30%. Always pitting really early. Wosai likes to stay a bit more on the track. No, I said 30, but 20% for Dexter.
Yeah.
Wosai likes as well to drive with low tires. He's quite cool with it, to be honest. And I think he's going to stay on the track a bit longer. I would say 1 or 2 laps longer. And Patros tends to stay even longer on the track as well, because he doesn't use as much tire as Wosai did. And he always put those 3 drivers with Dexter on different kind of strategy. And sometimes the strategy from Patros win, and sometimes the strategy on Wosai wins. And never really happened for Dexter, unfortunately. So really fingers crossed for Dexter's strategy to win, but could really be the case today. Like, you need to rely on those tires to be aggressive on every turn.
Yeah, I hope so as well, that Dexter's strategy will work out today, as we see Patroza and also Wosa making a small mistake here at that start. Nico's leading, Shorty is behind, but then Dexter also getting a good line, so I hope that he will do it. Of course, they are, maybe also they have an advantage that they are on TeamSpeak together, like Marius, Dexter and Shorty, that they're playing with each other. But look at that, also Patroza and also the teammate Moppel here in that top 4 position. Moppel not with the best light, he had to readjust it and he gets overtaken by plenty of players. We have a Winklebear, Eddie, then Funky Jug also with a good first lap, overtaking him here. But this looks to be a tight race. Look at that, no gaps between the top 7 whatsoever, only half a second. Patroza, Wosa leading, then we have Shorty on 3rd, Dexter coming a bit closer, going so close there to the wall. Then a Winklebear on the P5, getting overtaken by Moppel. So I hope that Moppel's internet will hold today. Yeah, 27 for me. You said 32. I hope that
Yeah.
it will not crash.
We are both wrong. Yeah, I hope we are both wrong. Hedy, the teammate of Shorty and Dexter, falling down the order, not the best second start of the second lap. We have Marius now fighting for P12, I think. Slowly but surely climbing up the rankings. Yeah, P14 for Marius.
Yep.
Will overtake a few people down to the heavy braking zone into the hairpin. Great slide, great speed he can carry up on the uphill section. But yeah, it looks like it doesn't really make some places on the track, unfortunately for Marius. Maybe a tad bit too safe.
Yeah, the safe Meister could maybe be a bit too safe as tire and fuel consumption. Tire consumption was around 7% for the first lap. Yeah, so of course you start not with you start with no speed in that multi-lap. So maybe this could also be the case because there's a heavy drift turn. So this could also influence that. I think it's 7 to 8% per lap as Patroza gets it really well. He also, this turn combination, very vital to not hit the inside, whether it's the wall or the small canyon part, as Patroza is leading right now the race. Then Wolsa behind and Shorty holding strong onto that third position right now. But there's already a huge gap between the top three players. Look at that, already roughly 2 seconds between them. Then there's Moppel who's behind, batting out with Wingo Bear. And then Eddie, Dexter, Lars, also with a great performance. Nice seeing that, of course. I was completely forgetting that he is also doing a great job. And he's also part of the OK Boys, so he's also in TeamSpeak or Discord with Dexter, Shorty, and Marius. So shoutouts to Lars as well. Sorry that I forgot you, mate. And yeah, he right now is fighting out with Deska, who had issues previous week. And then Danik B and Marius are closing into Marius. Good fight actually here for those top 6 position.
Oh my god, Dexter struggling. Oh,
also Deska.
Yeah, there was a Deska and Dexter. Yeah, massive mistakes.
Yeah,
Dexter really struggling. Like, it's so strange to see him on the P21 for Dexter.
Yeah, I agree. That is nothing that you see.
Yeah, like he will be able to come back, but we've seen this season that Dexter hasn't been as perfect as he was on season 2, unfortunately for him, and does explain a bit like the only the podium, the second and third place he had on the podium. But yeah, not the perfect season for Dexter, who was definitely a strong candidate. But yeah, he needs to be on the higher places in order to come back to Patrols on P2.
Yeah, I think he will definitely come back, but right now he's still only on that like 16th place and has a small gap. Like, there's another group of players ahead of him. Also Amaterasu, of course. He's also, I forgot about him now. Amaterasu also playing here, but usually he is not that far ahead. But now he's doing a very good job. Of course, I'm only bantering about him. He's a good friend of mine. Yeah, and he is right now on P17, so also good performance, but 10 seconds already behind Patroza, who's leading. Then we have Wolstyle, Shorty again on, or still on P3, and gaps are rising here. And I think we're gonna have like pit stops at around lap 10, 11-ish. Maybe Shorty will go for lap, I don't know, 20 for him, kind of.
Yeah, it wouldn't be surprising. But his consumption, fuel and tires usage, are quite in par with Patrols and Wolstyle.
Yeah.
They are really similar. Oh, Shorty.
Bonk.
Oh, yeah. Being overtaken by Mopel. It's going to create a massive gap between the two leaders, Patrols and Wolstyle. And then you have Mopel and Shorty. Wingo Bear. Such a good surprise to see him on P5, right behind Shorty and Mopel.
Yeah, actually, huge gap already, 4 seconds between second and third. And then there's Danik B, who's also doing a great job on 6th place. Also Josh, Darkbringer, I also mentioned, who's doing a great job. But look at that fight here between Wall, Marius, and also Claudio. But we see a mistake from Wall there, who is going into the wall. Ha ha ha. Funny Turbo. Ha ha. And Darkbringer also with a mistake. Funky Jug and Dexter overtaken. Darkbringer here, who had a good start to the race, but now down to P14 from P9 to P14. And yeah, losing a lot of ground. He also Eddie with a great approach, as well as Berserker. So the United Powerhouse is really showing what he's capable of doing, but getting airtime there. So Darkbringer overtaking there. It's a tight race there and good fights in all of those positions here. So very cool to see that, and also different approaches that we have from the players, as still Patrosa is leading. Wolsa is lurking in the shadow, though. It's only 1.3 seconds, and then there's a 5-second gap between second and third. That is a lot, and of course Shorty has made that mistake, that detrimental mistake, which has put him down already into that third place, and he now has to run to get that bronze medal temporarily now, and I hope that he can come back, and maybe his strategy, if he goes for a different one, will work out today in his favor. But again, making a small mistake here, getting airtime, and taking quite conservatively. So also Wingo Bear getting that 4th place here.
Yeah, you have crucial moment on the track where you get some airtime, some strange airtime, and could be really detrimental for the trajectory you want to have. Like right after the first checkpoint, some airtimes, if you get too much, you can't really prepare that well to the next section of turns, which is detrimental for the following of the race, because it is such a fast section of the track. So here Wingo Bear on 2P4 Shorty, great slide, makes some ground to Wingo Bear, but keeps it's down to the second in terms of gaps.
Yeah, that one mistake also here, like getting that small airtime. Every part really matters how you get that, and I think that mentioning with the airtime and also like how to prepare a drift here, that is really vital, because every kilometer per hour that you lose on this track, it feels kind of like that, is really punishing for you. Yeah, it's a fairly simple map with a lot of turns, but again, Shorty here fading that Neo slide, making another mistake. So Dexter is closing in, so Dexter also now up to P5. Good performance from Dexter of coming back. And Shorty with a lot of mistakes here. Also again here, what is going on with Shorty making so many mistakes by not nailing the Neo slide? I was playing a Neo slide map with that guy, and he's making a lot of mistakes now, down to P number 9. Berserker overtaking him here as well. So that is not good here. Shorty from P3 to P9 in just 2 laps, Atypick. That is, you don't like to see that.
Yeah. As well, we have Patros falling down a bit onto Wosile's car. It was a 2-second gap at some point, and now it's down to less than a second. So yeah, Wosile maybe a tad bit aggressive with his tires compared to Patros. There is a 3% offset between the two, but it's like basically nothing. Wosile is going to struggle a bit more with his tires, but we know that he's so confident. Oh my god, Patros, massive mistakes. So much speed from Wosile down to the hairpin. Brakes so early to make sure his car drifts as he wants to. And there we go, Wosile back on the top places.
Yeah, Wosile back into the lead. I mean, Pedrosa was leading the race all the time, but, you know, it is Pedrosa was falling a bit behind, making that small mistakes that I was talking about, and in a very speedy section, Wosile has gotten himself a good line, and Pedrosa right now is 0.3 away, so he is doing a great job. Moppel 7 seconds behind, and a 4-second gap between 3rd and 4th, so boring, I would say. Of course it's not, but, you know, the gaps are huge, and also Pedrosa and Wosile, that's the fight we're focusing on right now. Lap 11, and players are going for the first pit stop. We see Moppel going for lap 11 pit stop. I would say that they will go for lap 12, then 12, 24, 36, and then race it into the ending with 11 laps after that. But good fight here for that first place. We see Pedrosa not getting the best amount of speed though. Good minimization of airtime there. Wosile going so close there to the wall, so he's still able to survive, not touching the wall, as Pedrosa is still holding strong onto that battle and getting a good line here as well. So Pedrosa back into the lead. Good combination here in that zigzag turn, in that S-turn. So Pedrosa back into the lead, but only temporarily. But he has more speed. But good fight Atypick that we're seeing here. And they're indeed not going for a pit stop. I think they're gonna go for the one after this lap, as Pedrosa with a mistake and Wosile into the lead again. A back and forth between both of the players here. Great fight that we're seeing actually here.
Yeah, as soon one of the driver lifts a wheel up in the air, he loses so much time. You see Wosile lifting a wheel at some point, Patros storming the lead, Patros with a tiny mistake into a turn, lift a wheel up in the air, Warsail storm in the lead, so it will be back and forth. They are on the same strategy, Warsail with a bit more fuel usage and tire usage. There is a 6% offset now, which starts to be massive. But yeah, they are neck and neck, which is great. But they are going to pit for the fuel before pitting for the tires, so the tires are not really an issue. Patros right in the pit right now, Warsail as well. No mistake whatsoever, and they're right on the pit box at the same time.
Yeah, and I think we're gonna see a very, very good fight between them. Let's see who exits the pit lane early. And you said it is the fuel is not or the tires are not an issue, so the fuel, so they should go for 100%, and they will do so indeed. Patrosa is starting earlier, but also Warsail, like, only a car length behind, and Wingobear also in the pit. Danikby, everyone is going for that pit stop now here in lap number 12. You can see it here in the pit graph. Everyone, you will just see it afterwards, but look at that. It is, of course, now Moppel being behind, who went for a pit stop a bit earlier, but Moppel's still on that third position, and nothing has really changed concerning the gaps here between Patrosa and Warsail, but Moppel has come dangerously closer here, 2 seconds away, so he has gotten a quite good pit stop though.
Yeah, it would be like, I think the strategy from Moppel was he needed fresher tires. Like, you still have like a kind of an effect below that 30-40% of tire usage, and so Moppel just decided, okay, let's try, the gap was still massive, and let's try to catch up by just having fresher tires all the time, compared to those guys who drove, like, Warsail was down to the 20%, I think was 22% at some point.
Yeah, something like that, yeah.
And Patros was around the 28%, but you still have an effect of your car not as fast on the exit of a turn, really slower to decelerate and brake. So Moppel went for a more aggressive strategy, and looks like by the amount of the gap are like 2 seconds, which was a 8 to 11 seconds at some point between the top 2 and the third place. So great strategy called by Moppel.
Yeah, great strategy, but of course he has to pit one more time. But we were talking about that the pit stop is not that long. Yeah, so maybe this works out for him, as we have again, like, they're like lapping around here, and they still in the fight. They're like 0.1 of a second between each other, not even between Patrosa and Warsail here. Patrosa leading again the race, but then we also have Deska going for a different strategy, and there's only 1.5 liters left in the tank. So I'm gonna follow him. Lap number 14, so not sure what that...
Okay, he has plenty, like 2 turns, and it's the pit stop, and he needs to lift right now.
Oh god, you've seen the tires there, yeah. So I think the Deska strategy is not really working out, because he has slowed down so much there at this last lap. Yeah, he has lost a lot of time. He was, I think, only like 5-6 seconds away, of course, behind Warsail and Patrosa, but of course he still has to do, I think, the same amount of pit stops, because he's at lap 14, then it would be 28, and then, you know, 42. So what? It doesn't really make so much sense. If he could go for at lap 16 would be great, but like that it's not working, as Patrosa is leading again. So a great race we have for that first position, Atypick. Really good. I kind of want to follow that one. That looks absolutely cracked. But of course, there's also a gap here for that 4th place right now, or 5th place between Danikby and Berserker. But I think we should focus on that battle for first, because they're still racing against each other. It's a back and forth. Now Warsail into the lead again. They must be so confused, changing the numbers all the time. Now Patrosa leading again. Like, what is happening?
Yeah, I think it's really amazing. Like, there was a gap at some points. But it was mostly due to Warsail, probably a tiny mistake, touched the wall at some in a turn, and then they are really neck and neck right now. Since Patros probably as well made a tiny mistake, touch a wheel, lift a wheel up in the air, didn't really get the optimum trajectory. But yeah, those 2 drivers are a good match to one another. I don't think they see each other on the racetrack, because it's probably too disturbing to see our opponents But man, what a great battle we have for first.
Yeah, we have such a good fight. And also the first players will be lapped here in a second. So this will be spicy as well. We also had the first player waving the white flag, unfortunately. And we had J-Sack. No, who was that actually? Who has waved? DJ Ruffy it was, who is out. And as well as the Shraz.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Indeed.
So look at Deska now. Deska pitted and is at 32nd place. So Deska struggling here. Struggling tremendously. And yeah, it looks tempting to do those kind of stints, but it's not really leading somewhere. Of course, props to Deska, but now look how far behind he is. He's almost getting lapped by Wolsal and Patrols, but Wolsal now with a bit of a gap, 0.3 of a second. So maybe let's focus on a different battle here that we have and also go through the players. As you see, Marius in the top 10, then Claudio is behind Shorty, then we have Shadenis behind Shorty there on that 13th position. Yeah, Civic Chris on P14 also doing a great job, just ahead of Amaterasu, who is getting overtaken there by Wall, who got a really good line and didn't go into the wall.
Oh, yay. Oh my god. I love humor.
Yeah. I love dad jokes. On Friday I was at a friend's house and he was doing the weirdest dad jokes ever. I loved it. I loved it. I love those jokes. You can always get me with them. Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, good battle for Wall, Suke and Poki Teratsu. Is it Amaterasu?
Yeah, it is.
Yeah. Okay.
He had a sub goal where he had to change his name.
Ah, nice.
Also, Mime,
Okay.
the player that I'm casting, he is called Pokemime now.
Oh, yeah. Quite simple joke, but yeah.
Yeah, well. Whatever.
But we have a good train of car from P14 to all the way to P20. Berlul on P20. And then we have last TM with the R6. DR6 with a tiny mistake, unfortunately. Lars goes in front of him by quite a good margin, 1 second. But nah, yeah, I think the most interesting battle might be between Wosile and Patros, which is Patros is behind 2.5 seconds, so tiny mistake from Patros, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
And Wosile is now, yeah, safe from a bonking a wall into a turn that's not going to be that massive of a mistake now.
Yeah, he can afford a mistake here. Of course, not a huge one, but like one wall touch where he doesn't really accelerate. Probably not before this turn here, to the left and then to the right and then to the left again. Not touch there, but you know, some mistakes can happen to him and he would be fine as he's still extending his lead at 2.8 seconds. And also Patrosa has still the fastest lap at 56.08. Maybe Wolside can beat it now. I think he's not on a bad lap, but he's still 0.3 away from his PB. So yeah, Wolsal maybe not gonna get that, as Moppel will have his next stint coming up very soon. 38% of tires, so he probably will stint at like lap 21 or 22.
Like, Wosile is on a massive lap.
Is he
I
really?
wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, he's on a 3 purple sector.
Oh.
We had a 4th one. Looks like he does not improve though. Nah, he didn't really improve, I think.
Ah, now.
But yeah, he was on a very good lap.
Yeah, so Moppel pitting very soon again, lap 20, even though he had still 36% tires left. Not sure what he will do with that strategy, but he's not using all the resources possible. But let's see how this works out, as Wolsal is on a good lap here. He is 0.3 ahead of his former set time. Also good slightly good minimization of airtime, not getting any airtime. Good approach there as well. Also not getting the airtime there. Very important to not lift off, as Atypick was already mentioning that. Wolsal 0.12 ahead. Now this turn he was really struggling with, and Patrosa was getting a lot of more speed. Good slide there as well from Wolsal, and this could be a fast lap. Never mind. He lost it a bit there because of the slide and the misalignment. But maybe still the fastest lap that he has set. No, a 56.43.5. Still a good time, but still it is 0.4 away from Patrosa, who is right now 5 seconds behind though. So a huge gap already between first and second. And look at that. Third place right now, Wingo Bear, is 20 seconds away from Patrosa and Wolsal.
Yeah, did Mobile pit?
Yeah, he did, but still, I mean,
Okay.
Moppel has to pit one more time than them, and he didn't really gain up time with that. So right now it's Wingo Bear in that third position. So yeah, interesting to see that, as we see Moppel then has to pit at 30, 40 and then go into the finish. And the others have to pit one less time. So I think that Moppel's strategy might not really work out, but we're gonna find it out. Maybe he can race around, along the track a bit faster, as yeah, Wolsal still leads, made a small mistake. And yeah, the next pit stop will come in some laps, 2 laps.
Yeah, in order to Wolsal to grab the fastest lap from Patros, he really needs to nail the last 2 sectors. As you said, he was really struggling on the last 2 checkpoints, because he has like the very beginning, and all the way back to the middle part of the track. He's so fast on those sections, but yeah, the last 2 checkpoints are really struggling in order to keep the car well on the tarmac and have the proper trajectory. I think he made a tiny mistake. The gap he had onto Patros is falling down a bit. It was up to 5 seconds, now it's less than 4. So Wolsal, nothing really to worry about, but he's starting to fall down, at least lap time wise. It's probably because of the fuel and as well as the tires, because there is a massive offset between Patros and Wolsal.
Yeah.
It's down to 6 to 7% offset in terms of tires, so Patros is struggling a lot less on the turns.
Yeah, so that's a good point. He's struggling less on the turns, and now, of course, this is Patros' time to catch up. And those small mistakes can really happen, and Patroso, look at that, he's catching up in every sector at 2.6 seconds, 2.5 now, so that makes up for some good time here from Patroso, and also here taking it a bit better than Wolsal by the looks of it. He is having 23% tires and Patroso at 29, so Wolsal in the dead spot. But interesting to see that Wolsal is just playing way more aggressive. Maybe also Patroso doing this turn a bit better than Wolsal, who was sliding that one, so maybe that's the difference, I don't know. We're gonna go into the pit lane. Wolsal taking it safe, not getting a penalty. Then we have Patroso behind. Very nice. And now they are standing in each other again. But of course, Wolsal will exit the pit a bit later. Then we have Wingo Bear 25 seconds away. So the others will already race again. So let's see. Will Patroso go for less fuel now or not? But look at that. Wolsal also has to stand a bit longer in the pit lane, as Patroso is also leaving it with 100 liters now. Eddie is out, giving up. But yeah, gap now 2 seconds between them. So Patroso has come a bit closer there due to the 1 tick that he had to stand less in the pit stop.
Yeah, probably I would love to see Wolsal, if he wants to be that aggressive, I think with his tires might need to come 1 lap earlier in the pit box, just to change the tires earlier, and not suffer too much in terms of lap time, because we've seen Patros catch up so much on the very last lap, on lap 24. I think the gap starting the lap was around at 4 seconds, and finishing the lap it was 2.5 seconds. So it's Wolsal lost a huge amount of time on lap 24. So probably pitting lap 23 would have been a bit more optimum for Wolsal.
Well, of course, if he pits at lap 23, then he has to go for 12 lap stints all the way. So maybe he wants to have this his ace of spades at the end, his card that he can pull. Yeah, as Moppel is coming up to lap 27. Yeah, not gonna curse him, but I bet.
No.
But yeah, it's looking good for him, as he still finds himself on 3rd position. So a great race from the Forza Uganda player, yeah. So good team there, but of course Uganda being a meme in Germany for so long. I don't know even why, as well as Bielefeld. Maybe you've heard of that, the city that doesn't exist. That is also a meme. Yeah, like, I don't know, it's just German memes, you know. But yeah, whatever. So Patroso on 2nd place, Wolsal on 1st, and then we have Moppel on 3rd, and then there's a huge gap of 20 seconds between Wingo Bear and Moppel, Berserker, Marius, then Dexter overtaking Marius actually in the meantime here. Then we have Danik B, Josh Darkbringer, Claudio, Shorty, Shaldenis, Funky Jug, Deska with an interesting strategy, Sefi Chris on that 16th position, a little bit more ahead of Amaterasu now, who's on P19, but still a good performance. Berlud and Suk there as well, and then Wall on P20, just ahead of Speed Self, who is in Division 1. Was he in Div 1 last week? Speed Self?
There was no promotion this week.
Okay.
I think last week was there was Nano being promoted to Division 1 for his own map, which was unfortunate. He had to DNF like one lap before the end of the race, but yeah, no promotion. We could have another one, really depending on whether or not we have a DNF. I think the driver championship is really packed, but down close to the bottom of Division 1. So yeah, we have 17 points between Nano on P50 and Nyaruko, which is leading Division 2, 17 points difference. So yeah, if Nano doesn't have a good result and Nyaruko has a good one on Division 2, we could have some promotion there.
Yeah, maybe for the next week. This can of course happen as the points are close together, 17 points. That is like a good performance in Division 2, and of course running a race in Division 2 is a bit easier, isn't it? Just a tiny tad.
Yeah. Like, good driver will always rise in the division. Like, Wosal, if he was on Division 2, probably would go up really easily in 3 races onto Division 1, just because he's that dominant. But yeah, I think in terms of level, I really like the promotion, the demotion kind of mechanism that we have in Trackmania Formula League, because it's going to, at some point, the average level in each division will be the same. And drivers that needs to come down to other division will come down, and the driver that needs to go up will go up.
Yeah, exactly. I agree with that. That's really cool, and I think it's just the way it should be. Like, it's really a 5-head way to do that. To also use some Twitch emotes here, or emotions, or whatever.
So many meme and jokes today.
Yeah, of course, you have to do that. Else, you have to like. Just make it a bit more exciting, right? Because it's hard to talk for so long, so you also have to come up with some memes, with some dad jokes. As we see Mobble in the pit again, lap 30, and good news is, lap number 29 actually, Mobble not with a DC. Very nice. But lap number 31 is coming up, right?
I predicting a 32 DC. I really hope I'm wrong for Mobile. And like, just in terms of strategy and gaps, Mopel is right behind Wingo Bear, who has yet to pit a third time. So, good strategy call for the third step of the podium for Mopel.
Yeah.
I think if he continues on the same rhythm, he will keep his third place, I think. Because Wingo Bear can't quite match the pace that Mopel has.
Yeah, he can keep that indeed, but I think that, Mopel has to pit, of course, one more time than the others. You can see Wingo Bear has one less pit than him, so Mopel with the fresh tires and stuff like that. But he will not play a role for the second place battle, as we see Volsail still leading ahead of Patrosa. So quite, not boring. Of course, it's a great race to see, but I would love to see some spice in it, like some other strategies that work out. But it's still great to see Volsail and Patrosa performing like that. It's just incredible, and seeing Trackmania Grand League drivers in here would, of course, make that one very good. The first 3 races were really great. Of course, I missed, unfortunately, one, but hey, that can happen, right?
Yeah. I think the track that we have here forced the race to be a bit boring, like us, because people are pitting for the fuel anyway. Yeah. Makes people disregard like the tires, like the ratio, the rate on which the fuel is dropping compared to the rate that the tire is dropping makes like you are going to run out of fuel on lap when your tires are still quite okay, just barely above the 20% mark, which dropping below the 20% mark makes the thing interesting. We've seen the first wave of pit stop. Generally, we have like two kind of strategy where people were able to keep those tires nice and fresh compared to others that were a bit more aggressive. Like here, like 90% of the driver pitted on lap 12, pitted on lap 24, and will pit on lap 36. So it makes things a bit boring. But yeah, it's something I think I'm no mappers whatsoever. I think it is really hard to build a map that makes things interesting, and we are quite lucky already to not have like all the maps that are like this. And I think it's kind of the exception that we had in the season, because every other map that we had so far were so much fun to watch.
Of course.
There was always two kind of strategy battling to one another that were viable. And here looks like only one.
Yeah, there looks to be only one strategy. Of course, players are going for other ones, like Moppel, for example, Darkbringer. Then we also have Shadenis going for the same strategy as Moppel. And then we have Deska, lap 14 stint. Yeah. Interesting. But yeah, you know,
the best result for Deska.
It's cool to see those things, yeah. And also now the interesting part will come in, because again, Vosal has way more tire consumption than Patrose. How much will Patrose catch up to that? You know, he's 3.7 seconds behind, but now the crucial section will come into play. Lap 36 will be the pit. Vosal could also go for lap 35 and then go all out with lap 12. Maybe Patrose is also gonna squeeze out one more lap and then have like fresh tires all the way, but maybe it's not viable because he looks good also going into the 11th lap, that he has still over 30 or even 20% tires. You know, 41% here for him. Also is at 34%, and he enters the second to last lap with his set of tires, as he is still leading 3.2 seconds, 40 seconds between Winglebear and Vosal. What is happening?
Yeah, it is contrary to the very beginning where the gaps were so close, and I think even first stint all the gaps were so close. Like, it looks like Patrose and Vosal were able to step up their game, and like in sheer pace wise, they are so fast on the track compared to pretty much everyone on the server. It is strange to say, but even for Dexter, he can't quite match the pace of Patrose and Vosal. Which we were talking about Dexter, it's such a strong pilot, strong driver. He's been outpaced by Vosal and Patrose.
Yeah, and they are not playing bad, and that's the case. Maybe they make some mistakes, some more mistakes, as Vosal and Patrose make only small blunders. But let's go ahead here and check, because Patrose is coming a bit close to 2 seconds away from Vosal. Yeah, and now of course he comes into the danger zone, and there is still some more turns to go for Vosal, as he is losing out on a bit of speed here, 1.6 seconds. So this will be maybe an interesting finish, because this will be the last stint for both of them. And Vosal is going into that last set of turns here before the last stint. Vosal is not so far ahead. Look at that. Patrose comes closer, 1 second between them. And bear in mind, Vosal is having to be, or has to be, longer in the pit than Patrose due to the fuel difference. And maybe they're not even fully fueling. I don't know, but look at that. Patrose coming closer, so we might see a pit overtake here. And we could see a very close ending for that last finish here. Vosal with the very aggressive line there. Look at that speed from Vosal in the pit stop. And he's slowing down very nicely here. Gets the fuel there. And look at that. They're dead even with that. And they will start at the same time.
Yes. Same time for both driver, maybe a tiny bit earlier for Vosal. Really depends on Patrose. Oh, Patrose jumped the gun and starts ahead. Vosal with a bit more fuel compared to Patrose.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting in terms of calls. Was Rosal caught sleeping on the pit box, or did Patrols was a bit too greedy on the fuel? I would say both are fine. Patrols might be in the red right at the end.
Yeah, I think so as well. And also, of course, Bolsa was longer in the pit stop because he's just consuming more fuel. Yeah, we have seen it. And also the tires. Of course, the tires will not play a role as you've mentioned that. But Patrose is leading the race. Yeah, Patrose leads 0.7 of a second. And Wolfson has to push it. And this will be an interesting next 10 laps as we have a leading change. I was calling it a bit before, but I didn't think that Bartosa was going that early out of the pit lane. I thought that maybe one more tick. So your reaction was also very appropriate because I think that Bartosa can run into danger after all.
Yeah, I think he's fine. The leading driver may have an engineer talking to them on TeamSpeak, because you have a tool, I think, on the website. Wasn't really able to check it, but you could have an engineer watching your stream and telling you what to do in terms of strategy, how much you can put in based on your previous stints. So I think in terms of calls, Patros knows that he was at 80 liters. With 80 liters, he can go all the way to the end. But he has put a 1 second gap to Wosile, and we know Patros and Wosile were quite well matched on the track. They have been in second stint. They have been exchanging the lead pretty much every lap and a half. So yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Patros great call really early out of the pit box be able to keep the lead all the way to the end. Would be great. Could be a perfect Sunday this time for Patros. Can Mosile break that perfect Sunday out of Patros' reach? Because so far, fastest lap belongs to Patros since the very beginning.
Yeah. That's true. We have not seen a difference there in those laps. We've seen Walsa with some purple sectors, but he's struggling with that turn combination that is just coming up here, whereas I'm currently just following the lead battle because we have close fights, but I think it's more important to see who is actually coming closer towards Walsa here, because Walsa is leading, but it could be Patrosa actually getting his third victory in a row. And right now he is leading, and this half a second can maybe be valuable. So good call from Bartosa again, having that better decision making there at this point again. And Wolsal, of course, just being straightforward, and also makes a mistake here. That is very costly in that section, losing him like 0.5 of a second, stuff like that. Yeah, he's 2 seconds behind now. So Bartosa leading, good performance, but still nothing is over until it's over. There are still 7 more laps to go. And let's go ahead and check. Look at that. Like, Darkbringer, P7, look who has lapped him. What? Like, how they're crazy.
Yeah, Shorty is about to get lapped from Patros. Danny B is right behind Patros' wheels. Pace-wise, they are on another planet. Yeah. To be honest. And, like, Patros looks good. Looks good right now.
Clean.
Doesn't do... Yeah, it's really, really clean. Hasn't been that clean in the previous stints. I think the third one he was a bit struggling, but right now it looks like he has found his rhythm around the track, around those corners, those tricky corners, and he's flying compared to Wosile, who is falling a bit loose. Lost a second and a half to the mistake on the tricky turns, and now he's losing tenths and tenths and tenths here and there.
Yep. He's gradually falling behind, and Patrosa with that leading. So that was like kind of the rhythm that Wosal had. He was increasing his lead towards Patrosa, but of course in that like between the second and third stint, and now after the third stint, Patrosa looks to be very good and very strong, not making a mistake here. And of course 70% of tires left, so though they will not play a role. 46 liters. This might be a problem though. This might be a problem here, the fuel management. 42 out of 47 laps, so that means that we still have 6 laps to drive. And Patrosa could maybe closer to the ending, because, you know, 8 liters of fuel, maybe he was a bit too greedy there. This half second could really not play a role eventually, because Patrosa extended his lead. So I'm looking forward to see if this will be enough or not. I hope so for him.
It could be the massive conclusion of the entire race, whether or not Patros has enough in the tank to finish up. But it would be a massive mistake from Patros to not have enough. Wosal is slowly coming back to his rhythm, catching to Patros. It was all the way up to 3.5 seconds gap. Now it's down to 2.7. But yeah, 2.7. Patros needs to drive clean in order to keep that gap from shrinking. And looks like he just does that with a 0.2 widening of this gap, 2.7.
Yeah, 2.7 seconds it is between.
Sorry.
Yeah, it's changing all the time. Look, now it's 2.5. It's going up, back and forth, and also it is Wosal who's on a good lap pace here. Look at that. He is on a good sector here, only 4 thousandths away, but still it's Patroza having the fastest lap here. Also a good slide. Look at that. It is Danik B who is overlapping Dorian Raid, and then there's Wosal who's lapping both of them, Dorian Raid, for the second time. That is incredible to think of, like how huge the gaps are on this map, and what a great display of skill that is from both Patroza and Wosal. And it would be a great map, yeah, like with the TMGL drivers, of course. And right now we still have 4 more laps to go. Patroza at 31 liters. So maybe it's enough. What do you think? Will it be enough for him to take home that victory, or will he coast it to the ending?
It looks like it is enough. Yeah, it's going to be just. I think he will finish with between 5 and 10 liters left in the tank, probably even below. I wouldn't really be surprised if he finished with 3. But I don't think he's going to coast all the way to the end. He could. It is a fast section and easy section to coast on to right to the finish. But yeah, I think it's going to be plenty enough for Patros to have in the tank to finish without coasting. But yeah, we never know. Like he could have a mistake, and suddenly it is not enough. So it's never finished until it's over. Yeah. And Wosal really needs to keep up the pace in order to put pressure on Patros, because Patros knows that Wosal is 3 seconds behind, and he knows that there is some pressure. If he bonks a wall, suddenly Wosal is neck and neck with him, and he knows that Wosal can be really aggressive, and when they are neck and neck. And so yeah, Patros is not safe from any mistakes. But
yeah, no one is.
Yeah, no one is.
No one is, as I'm currently following Patros to just see how much fuel he is burning. 18.9 liters left, and he was starting with 25 into the lap. So it means roughly 6 to 7 liters per lap, and this is enough for Patroza, but he just has to survive and not make a mistake. He has 2 more laps to go, and this will be enough. Actually, it is enough fuel. Of course, if he makes a mistake, he will be down and not make it, as Wosal is on P2. Then we have Moppel on 3rd, 6 seconds ahead of Berserker, but Moppel, he does not have to pit as well, actually. Then Berserker on P4, he still has, no, also not to pit, 17 liters on the tank. Maybe he's gonna coast, but also that is a good, maybe he can get a lap by Patroza here and then finish in lap 46. Yeah, this could also be cool.
Yeah,
5 head.
It is. Sometimes it is something that you need to take into consideration, that you are going to get lapped, and therefore you have 1 lap less to do, and it will play a small strategy in the pit box, because you need to put less fuel. And if you don't think really about it, and you do your strategy as you were going to do 47 lap instead of 46, it is quite a good margin. I think you win like a 5 liters per 2 seconds, or something like this in the pit box. So you theoretically, if it is 7 liters per lap, you need to stay 1 second, 2 seconds and a half less than the others.
No, it's
are
actually
playing 47.
it's actually a bit shorter, but still it can play a role. Yeah, and you just have more resources to use. But it's actually Patrosa, 5 liters left in the tank. Wolfswell is only is 3 seconds away, so Patrosa will win the 3rd race in a row here by the looks of it. Only one more left turn to go, and there we go. Patrosa with a very good race, a good pit strategy. Wolfswell comes in 2nd position. Then we have Moppel 46 seconds behind Patrosa on a 3rd place, so a good race for the team from Patrosa. Look at that. That was a really good performance from both players. Then we also have Wingo Bear, Marius, Danik B finishing. Berserker actually getting 4th place, regardless what he's doing. Yeah, because it is Wingo Bear who's already finishing, as you can see, who got lapped by Patrosa. So finishing in lap 46. But Berserker has to survive, of course. 4 liters left. Okay.
Oh, yeah. Oh, man. That's a... Nah, it looks like...
Yeah, it looks fine.
Where he's sitting on the track, we've seen... I don't remember who it was. Was it Deska with 1.8 liters left? And he was fine all the way.
Yeah, but Berserker is fine. So Berserker gets 4th position here, the last player to finish the race. Yeah, and also not getting lapped. So actually the top 5 players have been lapped. What an incredible performance by Patrosa and Wolfswell. I'm really flushed by that. That is incredible, really. So props to them. I'm really impressed by Patrosa, that overtake in the pit stop. So the pit lane has actually decided the race.
Played role. Yeah. As you said, you called it way before the race actually started. The pit stop are going to play a role on the victory. But it is the first time that we've seen a driver jumping in the pit box. Like, Patros was so down to 3 liters. It is just perfect strategy from Patros. Wolfswell was just sitting too long on the pit box, and without that, he's finished 3 seconds behind. I think without 4 seconds, he has enough fuel even with it to finish the race and still be neck and neck with Patros. I think in the end, when he looked at Patros is ahead of me by 1.5 seconds, and he had a tiny mistake all the way back to 3 seconds gap. May have been impossible for Wolfswell to come back.
Yeah, but also Wolfswell is not using his resources effectively here. He had 10 liters left in the tank. Could have been maybe played a role here for the building up the pressure, because if both were, they had the same amount of fuel left. But of course there is that strategy from actually Wolfswell, who is just burning more fuel. So it is what it is. This can happen. So it was a good map, quite boring to watch, but a great overtake here. Some things I think we've made the best out of that. Was a very good start, but then it was just slowing down on that. But yeah, thank you so much, Atypick, for joining the cast. Of course, I'm very busy once again this Sunday. Yeah, I still have 2 casts and I have to prepare them, and I also have to eat something now. So I'll take a break, guys, of 20 minutes. Actually 25 minutes, just let the stream run and you guys can spam some emogus and stuff. So I'll be right back then, and thank you so much for joining, and I'll see you guys in the meantime. So thank